Fever star Caitlin Clark's injury situation remains uncertain. The Indiana Fever are back in action Tuesday night after the 2025 WNBA All-Star break, but they are still missing the services of superstar point guard Caitlin Clark on the floor. The former Iowa Hawkeyes sharpshooter remains sidelined by a groin injury that has now forced her to miss 2 games in a row. Before Tuesday's game against the reigning WNBA champions New York Liberty at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, Fever head coach Stephanie White said that there is still no update on Clark's status, according to Chloe Peterson of the Indianapolis Star. Peterson also noted that Clark met with a different doctor on Tuesday, though White has no update regarding what was talked about in that meeting. Clark suffered the groin injury late in the Fever's showdown against the Connecticut Sun on July 15. Injuries have been a major thorn in the side of Clark and the Fever in the 2025 WNBA season. She missed 5 games earlier in the campaign because of a left quad sprain. Clark returned from that injury on June 14 versus the Liberty, scoring 32 points with 9 assists and 8 rebounds to help the Fever pull off an upset. Weeks later, Clark was diagnosed with a groin injury which she re-aggravated in the aforementioned matchup versus the Sun. Caitlin Clark, who also missed seeing action in the WNBA All-Star Game for Team Clark, is dealing with cold shooting as well. In the 13 games she's played so far in the regular season, Clark averaged 16.5 points but shot just 36.7% from the field. Known for her ability to drain shots from long range, Clark hasn't been exactly living up to that reputation this season, as she's making only 27.9% of her attempts from behind the arc. Nevertheless, the Fever are missing a key piece when Clark is unable to suit up. For now, Indiana will look to rely more on the likes of Ari McDonald and Sydney Colson to help out Kelsey Mitchell in the backcourt. Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard will also have expanded roles on the floor, particularly on offense. Looking ahead, the Fever will face the Las Vegas Aces at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indiana this coming Thursday and the Chicago Sky at United Center in Chicago next Monday. How long is Caitlin Clark out? Indiana Fever provide new injury update. The Indiana Fever, 12-11, began the second half of the WNBA season at the New York Liberty, 15-6. And, for the second time in as many weeks, the Fever did so minus their biggest star. Clark continues to rehab a right groin injury that's the latest in a series of injuries that have derailed her 2025 WNBA season thus far. After Tuesday night's absence, Clark has now missed 11 regular season games in 2025 due to injury. That number ticks up to 12 games, including the WNBA Commissioner's Cup final. Right now, it doesn't seem like a return to play is imminent for Clark. In a pre-game injury update on Clark's status, Fever head coach Stephanie White said there's no update on Clark or a potential timeline for her return. Per the Indy Star's Chloe Peterson, Clark met with another doctor this morning, but Clark hasn't spoken with Indiana's trainers about that visit yet. After missing the first-half finale against the Liberty on July 16, Clark announced last Thursday that she needed to pass on the three-point contest and All-Star game as she continued her recovery. Certainly unfortunate, and I feel like there's been quite a few injuries over the course of the beginning of the season for quite a few people. So, a lot of people in the same boat as myself, and even my All-Star game team has dealt with some injuries tonight, so some people will be on just a couple minutes here and there and we'll make do with what we have. Hopefully to beat Fee. I'm not going to say I've just been getting around-the-clock treatment. I've been still trying to enjoy this weekend, having a balance of that at the same time and soaking all of this in. Once tomorrow comes around, we'll completely shift my focus to getting as healthy as possible. Just prioritizing that recovery but also having a good time has been important for myself too, Clark said on Saturday before the WNBA All-Star game as she updated her injury recovery. As the Fever continue to navigate this stretch minus their biggest star, Indiana and WNBA fans are trying to remain optimistic that Clark will indeed return. Calls mount for WNBA to make change after $11 million Caitlin Clark news resurfaces. WNBA players sent a strong message during All-Star weekend. With CBA negotiations ongoing, players wore "Pay Us What You Owe Us" warm-up shirts that included the WNBA Players Association logo. Among those who joined in on the message was Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark. Despite her historic impact on the league's attendance and viewership, Clark is making just over $78,000 from her WNBA salary this season, via ESPN. When asked about the difference between her league salary and off-court endorsements this past weekend, Clark delivered a clear message. "That's where we're really fortunate," she admitted via Scott Agnes of Fieldhouse Files. "We have those other deals. That's one of the things we're in the room fighting for. We should be paid more, and hopefully that is the case moving forward as the league continues to grow." Because Clark did not directly answer the question about how her WNBA pay stacks up against her endorsement deals, a December 2024 report from Sportico has been resurfacing. In the article from Kurt Badenhausen, it was revealed that Clark brings in around $11 million between endorsement deals with State Farm, Wilson, Gatorade, Nike, and others. Amid this news resurfacing in several social media posts and articles, calls continue to mount for significant WNBA changes. Because while Clark rakes in millions off the cower, she and others also generate significant revenue for the league, which many believe the players are not receiving a fair cut of, especially relative to how they are compensated by their brand partners. Speaking on this, analysts Nick Wright brought up both Clark and Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese. "Nobody serious can actually think that Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Bueckers making $70 something grand a year is a proper payment," he said. The $11 million Clark receives from endorsements has been serving as a reference for those analyzing how she is compensated for her services to the WNBA, and how that compares to other capitalistic ventures. Is there any other capitalistic endeavor where someone of Caitlin Clark's quality would make less than $80,000 per year? The answer is no, Wright added. One point Wright did not make in this clip is the difference between revenue and profit. Many detractors of WNBA players demanding more money cite the league's profit numbers. The most common counterargument is the percentage of league revenue WNBA players receive and how that compares to other professional leagues. This is a point The Ringer's Ryan Russillo amplified on X. "Over the years I haven't loved some of the WNBA arguments for higher pay, but now it's pretty simple," he wrote. If the Vegas Aces sell for $2 million in 2021 and are supposedly worth $290 to $310 million now, why would you expect the players to receive just 9% of the revenue? The Valkyries' expansion fee was $50 million 2 years ago. Today expansion cost is $250 million. While Clark continues headlining most of these posts, Reese has also been a topic of discussion. Recently launching her first signature sneaker with Reebok, Reese has several big endorsements. She is also one of the league's most popular players, which has brought her WNBA salary into focus.